Hi everyone, it's meteorologist Joe Chaffee doing a second video today, and thank you to one of my YouTube subscribers, Aztec, for giving me the heads up on this before I was headed out the door. It's going to give me at least a little bit of practice for when we get into hurricane season. So I just figured I'd cut this quick video to show you what's going on. We have our season's first subtropical depression, and it's formed out of a low pressure system that's been sitting out in the Atlantic for the last several days. And what's happened is, if you look right here on the visible satellite picture, there's a core of thunderstorms that has developed near the circulation center. So it has at least achieved a subtropical appearance, but not a complete tropical appearance, nor do I expect that to happen for a number of reasons, mainly because of the fact that it is out over relatively cool water. There's also a hostile wind shear environment. The winds aloft are hostile, blowing the tops of the thunderstorms away. So this might hang around as a subtropical depression for a day or so and then wind up getting absorbed. But I thought it was pretty interesting to see something like this. Here's the loop. You can see it right in here. There's your circulation center right there. So you see these thunderstorms are kind of coiling up and around it. So it's giving it that tropical appearance, or at least subtropical characteristics. And you've got this other convection to the northeast that is displaced away from the center. When you get the activity starting to when it concentrates near the circulation center, it is trying to become more what we would call warm core. Normally in these cold core cyclones that we see typically across the United States and elsewhere, most of the activity is north, northeast, and northwest of the center. There really isn't too much going on, and it's got that sort of comma-shaped look, whereas here you can see there's much more of a distinct circular appearance to all of this. So definitely has some subtropical characteristics, and on the wider view, you can see where it is. By the way, just in terms of latitude and longitude, this is probably at about 31.5 north and around little west, just about 41 west, which is roughly about 850 some odd miles south of the Azores. So we're talking way out here, out in the Atlantic. In fact, I tried to get the best wide satellite picture that we could see from where we are. Here's the southeast coast of the United States, and this thing is way, way out in the Atlantic. So we're talking 50, 60, 70, 80, 40, about 2,500 miles or more east of the U.S. coastline, and it's not going to be of any issue here, obviously. Now, I just want to show you on the GFS model where this is and how it looks with respect to everything else going on around it. You have a big high sitting off the coast of Spain. You have a big high over Newfoundland, and this thing is kind of sandwiched right in between. So it really is blocked off from accelerating northeastward. So it just kind of rotates around. There's another low, non-tropical low that looks like it's going to form to the west of it, and it will wind up absorbing this all. At least that's what you want if you want to believe the GFS. And then that low just kind of sits there. I mean, we're talking Sunday now, so we're at Wednesday. So 5 days later, the low is almost in the same spot. And then it just kind of drifts east, southeast, and southeast and east and weakens. Because the flow in the Atlantic right now is, it's kind of blocked to some degree. Look at the upper air flow. And we'll go back because now we're a week later. But, here's the upper feature that's doing all this, and you've got this. Here's the ridge in the east. You've got this big sprawling upper high to the northeast of it, so it's kind of trapped. Here's the main belt of westerly wind, so there's no real alleyway for this thing to go up and out. Okay, instead it just basically sits there underneath all that blocking. This is the non-tropical upper system, by the way. I should emphasize. The actual low itself, the actual subtropical depression, is actually right there where you got the little kink in that height line. Okay, so it's rotating around that upper low, and it winds up getting absorbed by it. You can see the upper low just kind of sits there and meanders around, especially as we go through time, because you're going to have a building high south of Greenland, so it stays separated in the flow. It just kind of meanders along eventually to the east, and again, of no consequence. The only reason why I figured I'd do this is because in about 5 weeks, we're going to start hurricane season in the Pacific, which starts on May 15th. And on June 1st, we start the hurricane season in the Atlantic. So, just a gentle reminder to everybody that we've got the next seasonal storminess that we're going to be dealing with, which is hurricane season going from June on up through November. So we're still in the throes of spring. And by the way, April tropical systems are rare. They're unusual, but I was reminded when I went on, I checked on Wikipedia, and apparently there was back in 2003, and I really don't even remember this, but April 20th through 24th, a tropical storm, Anna, formed and impacted Florida. That was back in 2003. So I'll put this link up. I'll put a link up to my web post on this, and then you can link if you want to see a list of these. This is a page. This section on Wikipedia lists all the off-season tropical systems going all the way back to 1771. And I'm just trying to see, there was one here, April in 1912, 1915. There's obviously more of them show up in May. And then you really don't have much of anything until April 18th to 21st, 1973 in the Central Atlantic Ocean. Who knows? It might probably be in the same spot. And then you have to jump to April of 1992. There was a subtropical storm in the Central Atlantic. And April of 2003, which was one with top winds of 60 miles an hour and got to a pressure of 994 millibars, that impacted Florida. So, very interesting. And we've had a number of May storms over the last 10 years or so. There's one in 2007, one that formed on May 31st in 2008, 2009, 2012. There were actually two of them. And then 2015, we had one, and one in 2016. So, and of course, last year we had the January Hurricane Alex that formed out between Bermuda and the Azores. So that was in that El Nino year. So the atmosphere was really screwed up at that point. All right, so check out the latest. I'll put the latest a post up on this, and I'll have the advisory on it and a link to this very interesting list of off-season tropical storms. Have a great day.